And coming up later in the show, we'll preview Week 5 game of the week between Eunice and Catholic of New Iberia. So stay tuned for that.
And late summer heat in the afternoons, but we have a front on the horizon. We'll talk more about that and have the complete True View forecast coming up right after the break.
From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, 91 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be hotter because we're going to see less clouds, but maybe a little bit of a better breeze coming in from the east. But bottom line, summer heat in the afternoons, comfortable almost at night, but a cold front on the horizon about a week away. Next Thursday, Friday, we'll see how it plays out and how much cooler it actually gets behind that first fall front. So let's take a look at the big picture here as we look at the water vapor imagery. And we're under the influence of high pressure to our southwest and to our north as well. There's this little bit of a frontal trough out in the Gulf of Mexico. That's been creating an environment for showers and storms out there. And that tropical moisture going all the way up through the northeast. This has been that conduit of moisture that we've been watching all week long. And today really got to the New York City metro area. And then what we're looking at is this nice big upper level system that's going to bring snow to the higher elevations, Pac Northwest and the Rockies. And eventually it's going to take its time. And the question is how much time before it gets here, but it should usher a front through next Thursday and or Friday. Some showers with that front, but overall it's pretty bleak with respect to the dryness across the area. And it's been generally fair. We can see those showers offshore out in the Gulf of Mexico as we scan all the regional Doppler radars here. And you can see that activity way offshore. It's been breezier out in the offshore waters as well, so keep that in mind. For the first time all summer long, breezy conditions offshore. So if you're planning on going out into the Gulf, stay close to the coast because it'll be rough out there. As we look at Power Doppler 3, Acadiana's only live Doppler radar, all is going well here and will continue to go well in the future, unfortunately, and that's why we're so steeped in this terrible drought in the exceptional category, level 5 out of 5 for most of Acadiana, much of the state for that matter, covering almost now 70% part of the state. So very serious situation and no help in the future on rainfall, at least over the next week to 10 days, other than that shower chance come Thursday, Friday. In the tropics, the rest of the Gulf, the Caribbean looking good. There's an upper low here, but not doing much. You see that tropical moisture off the east coast. And then we get out into the Atlantic. We have two tropical storms very close to one another. Not a whole lot in the way of other candidates out there, so that is certainly good news. And these tropical storms are undergoing atmospheric shear. You can see the main convection is being blown away from where the center of the storm is on both of these systems. So both marginal tropical storms pretty close to each other and probably interacting with their outflows. But the bottom line, they both stay out in the open Atlantic. Their tropical storm force winds stay away from the Caribbean. Philippe with 50-mile-per-hour winds. Rena now currently with 45-mile-per-hour winds. And that's it for the tropics, we hope, and hope for the Gulf of Mexico. But there may be a late October surprise somewhere in the Caribbean, maybe the Gulf, we'll see. So mild overnight tonight. Temperatures upper 60s to lower 70s. Tomorrow afternoon, mid-90s. The heat will be on, but notice the dew points will be down into the 50s, so humidity in the 25% range. Thus, the red flag warnings, the fire weather watches across the air. Please be careful with any flames, but we'll have an easterly breeze tomorrow, and that will also fan flames if something gets going. Upper 60s to near 70 for Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, back into the mid-90s, and that easterly breeze will continue across the area, so still late summer heat out there. Overnight tonight, mid-60s for the northern parishes of Acadiana. We're looking at upper 60s to lower 70s, I-10 corridor, and pretty much the same across the coastal parishes. And then for tomorrow afternoon, 95 to 97, but that heat index staying below 100, we hope, across the board. We'll go 96, Crowley, Lafayette, and Cecilia, Lake Charles as well, 96, Lake Arthur, New Iberia, Abbeville, 95, Kaplan also coming in at 96 degrees. So that's the way to finish a record hot summer with a record hot September as well. Great for Friday night football tonight. Full harvest moon out there, the last of the super moons this year. So get out and enjoy the Bruins' brightness at at the midnight or so. That's when it'll be brightest, when it's right overhead, midnight, 1 a.m. Hot finish to September for sure. Breezy easterly winds. And by the way, the record for tomorrow, 97 degrees, set back in 1928. Why not break another record? It wouldn't be surprising if we did that. As we move forward, mid-90s, so hot afternoons and mild nights ahead. I'm going to come back in on here if you can, and I want to show you here on Thursday we have a front coming in. That front should deliver some showers as we get toward Thursday late, maybe Friday. This is the Euro model, and behind it, highs in the 80s. Yes, indeed, that's right, highs in the low to mid 80s. Overnight lows will probably duck down into the upper 50s, but I don't see anything big like 40s coming our way anytime soon. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more coming up right after the break.
It's time for sports with KATC's Elijah Nixon.
Now we are back here for Game of the Week for Week's 5 contest of Friday Night Football, and this one's between Eunice and Catholic of New Iberia. Earlier we talked about New Iberia and their hot streak after losing in Week 1 to Vermilion Catholic, and for Eunice they have a similar path. These guys are 3-1 as well, but they play this little bit of an old school offense. Their wing T style, and their style is to keep these offense off the field, eat up as much time as they can, and also keep possessions alive. So you know what the keys of the game to? Simple. The keys of the to win this game will be the offensive line. It's one in the trenches, because they want to make sure they eat up clock and they keep punishing you and being physical, because once they start to wear you down, that's when they want to go over the top and be a tad bit more explosive and catch you off guard. But Eunice has a tall task in front of them, and they know that this offensive line, how experienced they are. They said that this can be the way they win this ball game tonight.
I'd have to say the offensive line. You know, I think they're going to have to establish that physical presence up